Virgo, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for September 19th to the 25th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so Virgo, this week, a sort of lifting up of what may have been, for a lot of us, a foggy month, uncertain month. And a lot of that had to do with the eclipses that are taking place, a lot of transformation. But particularly with Saturn squaring up to Neptune, who is now lifting up the fog. You know, this aspect is lifting up here this week. So this is actually the last and final aspect that took place. So it's been this way pretty much all year since November of last year. But now things certainly lifting. And I think a lot of us will feel that this week. Now, Mercury, your ruler, is going direct. So that's particularly emphasizing you guys because of the fact that Mercury is your ruler. So usually when Mercury's retrograde, there's a lot of this internalization, especially because Mercury is in your 12th house. And this is the house of reflection. This is the house of alone time and deep psychological things and learning more about ourselves, both spiritually and physically and emotionally and psychologically. So it's all about coming back into wholeness. And that's really the end goal. So maybe there are some things shifting your understanding of matters about the importance of surrender and acceptance in your life. And maybe even getting to know on that spiritual level or getting to know life on that spiritual level. So however that has been manifesting for you with Mercury station, it's a good time this week to sort of reflect on what you've learned these past couple weeks with Mercury in that 12th about the importance of alone time, about the importance of acceptance and surrender in our life, and maybe some psychological things too, fears and traumas that sometimes can get in the way of that. So things are moving forward, and as we have this Mercury gaining its momentum into next week, we'll feel this implementation. So now it's great to put this in motion, put this spiritual perspective in motion, or this routine, or whatever it is, meditation, yoga, whatever's manifesting here for you, to put that forward. And I think over the coming weeks, you'll find that there's a lot to learn about that. There's a lot to put into motion so you can have more peace and tranquility in your life. And this is really the overall theme for you because the North Node has been transiting this 12th house. And this is where the whole cycle started this month, this solar eclipse cycle. So all in all, it's just great to learn more about this. And just a little bit of this 12th house really goes a long ways right now. So even if it's just a 5-minute meditation, or a bit of alone time, or talking to someone, like a counselor, just someone you can confide in, these kinds of things are tremendously useful and healthy right now at the moment. So yeah, that's going to be the big picture for the next year and a half. A lot to develop with your spiritual self, and you could certainly continue to find the peace and tranquility in that. Now, there is a lot of emphasis in your first house, and happy birthday for those of you watching for your sun signs. You have your birthdays this week. But all of you have your sun here. You've got Jupiter and Venus all in your first house. So there should be a bit of this expansiveness or adventurous spirit, which is really great to tap into this week. Should be some opportunities to maybe learn more about your independence, to put things forward in your life, such as your goals, the things that you want. Your personal needs are really expanding at the moment. And although Jupiter by himself may just feel it, he may just feel a bit inspired, it's really about moving this forward, especially because you're going to have a new moon here in your sign, I believe, next week. So there is this new beginning now unfolding for you, involving yourself, involving the things you want in life, your desires, personal needs, and perhaps most fundamentally, your independence. So that's good. Venus is actually in a sextile with Mars at the beginning of the week, suggesting maybe some positive energy for that. It's a good drive and motivation there, feeling good, looking good, maybe a bit of synergy in your relationships. And maybe with the financial stuff, possibly Venus does rule your second house. And again, maybe a bit of adventure. And the adventure could be just maybe reading a philosophy book, or discussing philosophy, or going for a walk. A little bit of that adventurousness, I think, is very healthy as well for you Virgos. So that's the beginning of the week. And like I said, the station. Now, Mercury is going to be trining up to Pluto, I do want to mention. So this is a really powerful week He's going to be trining both on the ingress and egress of that station. So it really is, being your ruler, an excellent week for change, an excellent week for transformation. There's a lot of support to do this. I think you're willing to do this. And a lot of it has been through a lot of the changes that you have been going through involving your emotional body over the past many years with Pluto in the 4th house, maybe the changes that have been occurring with your home life, your family life, or your health. But now you have this willingness because it's this trine. So very good energy there for you to, again, make some change, maybe there, so you can have more peace in your life and pursue that independence, because at the end of the day, Mercury does rule that 1st house of yours. All right, so that's going to be the strongest energy. Then as we go into the weekend, the sun does get closer to that Jupiter, again, helping you see those potentials with yourself and how things are unfolding in your life, which is good. Mars is going to be shifting into your 4th this weekend. So particularly next week, you'll likely notice this motivation, this drive to maybe get in contact with family, or maybe start a new location or make some changes around the home life. And I think fundamentally, really motivate yourself to get in good health. This is the 4th house. It's the most fundamental home, which is our bodies, our temple, and establishing that relationship there. But, this is a time where, although things are in the 1st house, there's generally a lowering time, a lowering motivation, a lowering drive. And that's just this time when Mars is at the bottom. He likes to be at the top. So if you're feeling that, a good way to get that motivation and drive is maybe through some of those family values or home values, or again, your health. This is the area of motivation for you. All right. Leading up to that, this earlier part of the week probably has more to do with communication and learning and all that. So it's great to motivate yourself with that. But next week, certainly with those foundations. All right, so yeah, that's the week in a nutshell. Definitely important for you, Virgo, since your ruler is going direct, trining up to Pluto. Good power to make change, things moving forward subtly going into the weekend. And yeah, good aspects with Venus, who's in your 1st house, and the sun getting closer to Jupiter in that 1st house, helping you see the importance of that independence. All right, but the main context here, which is really the life path and life direction, is all pointing towards your spiritual development. Right, all about coming back into wholeness and peace in your life, which really does come through acceptance, right? But in order to accept, there are a lot of layers. There are a lot of things that come up psychologically and spiritually that do require us to accept those. It's all in steps. But just a little bit of this really goes a long ways, and I think it's an excellent week for change there with your spiritual life. All right, Virgo, so have a fantastic week. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week.